What's going on, Lego Maniacs? It's Ty, the Lego guy here, and welcome to another episode of To Invest or Not to Invest. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Ninjago theme and seeing whether it's worth the investment. This theme has been out for a long time. I think it's going on 13 years since it did start in 2010. And this video is also going to help out the collector because the last thing we want to happen is for a set to retire on us and we end up paying an arm and a leg for it. Anyways, this one should get interesting. We're going to take a look at a number of different sets over the years and seeing how they did, back from 2010, 2011, all the way to, 2019, 2020, when a set did just retire. And we'll see how it does on the aftermarket. But enough talk, let's get right into it. And to begin, we're going to start by taking a look at some of the earliest Ninjago sets and then making our way to the present just to get a full grasp on how well this theme does on the aftermarket. And at the end of the video, we'll give you guys a couple sets that we could maybe invest in. And I just wanted to mention now that this is not professional investing advice. Invest at your own risk. But the first model that we'll take a look at is the 2258 Ninja Ambush. This model came out in 2011, was quite small, only retailed for 7 USD, and nowadays it's going for 45 USD. So it's appreciated a lot. We can see that some of these smaller Ninjago sets do quite well on the aftermarket. Let's now move on to the next, which is the 2260 Ice Dragon Attack. This model retailed for 20 USD. Nowadays, it is going for 150 USD. So here we can see another set that's done quite well in the aftermarket. This is about 3 times as big as the last one. Still a small set, but we're beginning to see a theme. These Ninjago sets definitely do well. At least the early ones do well on the aftermarket. Now this one's a little bit of an oddball. It's the 2521 Lightning Dragon Attack. It was only out for a couple months, came out in 2011, but here's the kicker. It retailed for 80 USD. Nowadays, it's going for over 900. So this is a little bit, I'm assuming this was some sort of a promo. It didn't have a huge shelf life. I mean, a couple months is very short, but again, this is crazy. I just wanted to mention this set in particular just because it's going for over 10 times what it retailed for. The next model is the 9444 Cole's Tread Assault. Was out for almost about a year and it retailed for 40 USD. Now nowadays, this one is going for over 200. So again, this was out for obviously a little bit more of a respectable time, not a couple months, but still this set 5 times in value, which is crazy. But now we'll fast forward a little bit and take a look at a set that came out in 2015. It's the 70754 Electromech. This model retailed for 15 USD, and nowadays it's going for over 160. So I was shocked, honestly, when I started going through this research. I didn't really think Ninjago sets did all that well, but apparently they do. But let's continue to do a little bit more research and see if this continues into the present day. The next model is the 30424 Training Dojo. This model came out in 2016 and it retailed for about 10 USD. Now, unfortunately, this is only going for about 16 bucks nowadays. So not every set is going to increase 5 times or more like we've seen with the previous examples. So just bear that in mind. You want to be a little bit particular when choosing which set to invest in with the Ninjago theme, just like any theme. And now we fast forwarded quite a bit to 2018. We'll take a look at the 70645 Cole Dragon Master. This is one of those spinner sets, I do believe. And yeah, if in case you're thinking that those sets maybe do well on the aftermarket, definitely steer clear. This retailed for $14.99 USD, and nowadays it's going for $15.81. So you basically would break even. Don't invest in these sets. And now taking a look at a set from the same year, it's the 70643 Temple of Resurrection. This model retailed for 70 USD, and nowadays it's going for over 280. So over 4 times what it was going for when it was on shelves. This is just further proof that the Ninjago theme is pretty strong. Again, just be careful which ones you do invest in. And moving up one more year, we'll take a look at a set from 2019. It's the 70673 Shuricopter. This model retailed for 30 USD, and nowadays it's only going for 50. So this is more so the worst case scenario. At the very worst, you might be, almost doubling your money, and then at the very best, you'll obviously be increasing it by 5 times or more. I just wanted to put this set in here just to get a little bit more realistic viewpoint on what can happen, but still, you'd be making, decent gains on this. It just wouldn't be anything fantastic. And moving 1 year forward, we'll take a look at the 71718 Wu's Battle Dragon. This model retailed for about 20 USD, and nowadays it's going for over 35. And this model did just retire back in 2021, came out in 2020. So decent gains again, not crazy, but bear in mind it's only been retired for about 2 years. And now we've come to one of my favorite Ninjago sets, which is the 70618 Destiny's Bounty. This model did come out all the way back in 2017, and it retailed for about 160 USD. But what's surprising about this one is it's only going for a little over $250 nowadays. I kind of wanted to put this one more towards the end because this is one of the larger scale Ninjago sets, and it's really not going for all that much. Again, you'd still do decent with this set if you did buy it for investment, but it's not doing, spectacularly well like some of the other sets we did take a look at in this video. But in case you're thinking that every single large scale Ninjago set doesn't do all too well in the aftermarket, well, this set would definitely prove anyone who thinks that wrong. It's the 70657 Ninjago City Docks. This model retailed for 230 USD, and nowadays it's going for over 600. This model did come out late 2018 and it retired late 2019, so it was on shelves for a little over a year if you look at those dates. I did own one of these sets, and unfortunately I did part with it. I didn't like doing that, but yeah, I did make quite good money on it. I just had some bills that I had to pay. So yeah, this is again one of those best case scenario Ninjago sets. If you get those like this one, you'll do quite well. But now we'll take a look at 3 sets that I think will be good investments. The first is the 71741 Ninjago City Gardens. This is a gorgeous looking set, very similar to the Ninjago City Dock set. In fact, the two of them can be put together to make a more larger scale city. The only downside about this one is it retails for 350 USD, and this one came out in 2021. Now they are expecting it to retire sometime shortly. It has been on shelves though longer than City's Dock set. So just keep that in mind. The shorter that it's on shelves, it gives people the less amount of opportunity to buy that set and to kind of stock up on it. But still, I think that this is going to do quite well once it does retire. The next model is the 71756 Hydro Bounty. This model came out in 2021 as well, and it retails for 140 USD. This is an awesome looking set. It really reminds me of the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea or something like that, the Aqua Zone theme, but it is Ninjago. I just think it's a very cool looking sub, very colorful. I love the baby blue that makes up, all the windows on this one. Overall, this is a really good looking set, and I'm not even the biggest Ninjago guy, but this is one of those sets that I definitely want to add into my collection. So because of those reasons, I think that this is going to do quite well once it does retire. I think a lot of Ninjago fans are going to want to buy or want to own this set. And now we've come to the last set, which is the 71772 the Crystal King. This is such a cool looking set. It retails for 80 USD and it came out in 2022. So this is probably not going to retire anytime soon. I just think it's a really cool looking model. It reminds me of a centaur. I love the purple that they used in this too. It's just a very cool looking set. Really good colors that they used to kind of make it. Again, it's not going to retire anytime soon, but once it does retire, I think that this is going to do really, really well on the aftermarket. But that pretty well does this episode of To Invest or Not to Invest. As always, guys, let me know what you guys think about this list. If there's any set that I may be leaving out that has done quite well in the aftermarket, and let me know what you think of the choices that I chose for possible sets to invest in. I think that these 3 are very strong, but if you disagree with it, let me know. Or if you maybe have another set that you think will do well in the aftermarket, just post it in the comments. Yeah, always interested to hear your guys' take. But that pretty well does the video again. But if you liked it, leave it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any future To Invest or Not to Invest videos. We do one of these every month or two, and yeah, I find them very interesting and hopefully they're helping you guys out. But that's all I got for you again. But thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.